Alright, so welcome back to the Ayrton Senna driver career mode. Now, I was pondering to myself the other day, hang on a minute here, I just got some amazing new McLaren merchandise for Christmas, and in this series, I drive for McLaren, so every episode, I'm just going to bun this on, because it fits really well, and I feel more involved. Now, last race at Silverstone wasn't ideal. In fact, it was worse than that. It was shocking. I managed to only get P8, which, to be honest, is quite representative of where our car is at the moment. As you can see, we are currently equal. Not even equal. We are behind Haas in the R&D. We're only quicker than 3 other cars. And the standings, it looks extremely bleak. We lead by 6 points over Alonso after he got back-to-back wins. We only have a, 14-point lead or 15-point lead over Leclerc. That's actually 13. I am just that bad at basic subtraction. And then 3 points behind Leclerc is Verstappen, and only 7 points behind him is Stroll. There is only 1 race win difference between me and P5 in the drivers, and it's even worse in the constructors, because look, we are 1 point behind Ferrari. We lose P2 to Ferrari after Silverstone, because even though I score points, Lando, P18 on pace. Shocking. And yeah, we also trail Aston Martin by 57 after 7 races. Absolutely tragic. But today we're going to Spa. It's a wonderful circuit, as we know, and realistically, we want to try and get 2 top 6 finishes, get right back up there, maybe, you know, just keep my championship lead, and maybe get back into P2 in the constructors, although I do find that very unlikely with, you know, the car being bad, plus how slow Lando's been. I'm not expecting much, but let's get into quali and see what happens, because you never know, there might be some surprises. Right, well, that's a good start to the weekend. We are 10 seconds into qualifying, and I already have a sensor fault, so that's just top stuff, really. Well done, McLaren. That's quality. Rightio then, let's take a look at some of these lap times. We are going to have a 1 minute 39.6 by Leclerc. Not ideal, considering he's one of my championship rivals, as is Stroll. Lando, though, that's an okay lap. I mean, yes, he's 4/10 off Leclerc, but he's 4th. That's quality. I mean, in Silverstone, he qualified, like 12th or something? Like, something tragic. P4 is a lovely way to start. However, there has been a trend with Lando Norris, who now drops down to P5. There's this trend. What is that Sergio Perez lap, by the way? Not entirely sure that's very realistic, but he does like a bit of Spa, so we'll let him off. But Lando does this thing where he'll get a really good lap time on his first run, like top 5, top 6, but then he won't improve on his second run, which means he'll drop down all the way to like P13. I'm hoping today he can break that curse or trend and he actually stays in the top 5, because that would be massive. So, of course, we're trying to beat our teammate. Ocon is... okay, I don't know how he's done that in the tractor, but whatever. So we need to be a 1 minute 40.039. Ideally, get into the 1 minute 39s. That's what we've got to do. Alright, welcome to the first run of the session, the first of 2 runs. And I'm just going to say it before we begin. If you could please consider subscribing to the channel. I upload daily-ish career mode videos. Not really a reason why, just if you're feeling generous, you know. Anyway, let's start this first run then. I have no idea what I'm doing around this track. It's been a very long time since I've been around here, so this is a very leap of faith lap into turn 1. That is already too late on the brakes, but it's okay, I guess. Let's just not spin. I think that's a good starting point. Now, I'm actually going to try and use a little bit of overtake on the exit of Eroge. I don't know if that's actually helped me very much, but I've done it anyway. Now, down the back straight, I'm actually going to go all the way down to about 40% on the overtake, send it into whatever corner this is, and I'm going to be only a 10th up on Gasly, which is concerning because Sector 1 is usually my best, just because, well, it's a straight line, and my car's usually quite good in a straight line. Now we're going to absolutely send it through Pouon. There you go. A little bit squirrely, a little bit snappy, but it's okay. Now, these corners are very dodgy because you go on that inside curb and you will die, so you have to be very careful of those, but navigated that a little bit icky-sticky, but it's okay. And now Sector 2 is completed. That is more like it. 0.4 of a second up on Gasly, which still, that's not brilliant by any means. I can still find myself very far down. I'm going to need a very, very strong final sector, or else I'm cooked. And here we go. Bus stop chicane, brake, send it in like you're silly. That was very bad. That was even worse. At the final corner, dump the foot and the overtake, and that is going to be exactly what I was looking for. A 1 minute 39. I'm ahead of Lando by, like, not even a tenth. But the concerning part is that, like I said, Lando will do a very good lap from the off and then not really improve. We are currently P10 and P12 being split by a Sauber, which of course, don't forget, Sauber, they're only a little bit behind us in the R&D, so that's not even that, like, surprising, to be honest. That's just how bad we are at the moment. Alright, now I've barely got any time before I need to go back out, but taking a look at the leaderboard, as you can see, Lando has actually improved his lap by a tenth. Quality, so he has now improved to a 1 minute 39.921, so that's the lap time that we, of course, need to try and beat, but we are nearly 8 tenths off the leaders. And to be honest, there's nowhere I'm really struggling. Only Sector 3, Sector 1 and 2 are actually really good. So the aim, Sector 1, Sector 2, pretty good. Sector 3, find a little bit of time. Alright, here it is then. This could be a potentially very important lap. I would like to get into the top 10, but that is going to be extremely difficult. One thing I do know for sure, though, is that I can use a lot more ERS on this lap, a lot more overtake, I should say. Now, into turn 1, I braked a lot too late on my first run. I've braked late on my second run as well, but I've had a much nicer exit and actually found a tenth and a half. Not sure how I've done that, to be honest. Now, up through Erosion, I'm going to do the same thing, use a bit of overtake on the exit. So I'm actually 10% down, but that's fine. I can still go all the way down to 40. I might actually go down to 35 on this occasion. Now we have to lock it in for Sector 2. It's going to be a purple Sector 1. I knew I had some pace in Sector 1. I've gone a bit squirrely, though, but actually, I've managed to hold that like a perfectionist. And I've actually not lost that much time from that, if any. Oh my goodness, I'm sending this like I am silly. Round poo on, that was nice. I may have gone off the track. They'll have to VAR that, but whatever the case, I don't really care, to be honest. Now into the corners that are very scary. Brake a bit later, turn in later, so you don't hit the curbs. That was bloody lovely. Into whatever this corner number is, I don't remember. That's nice. Bit of overtake on the exit. It's going to be 2 purplish sectors for me. Ayrton, Senna, aka FUTcrim, aka FUTcrim. Come on. Now remember, my Sector 3 was pretty slow compared to the AI, so I need to find some time. In we go. Braking looked okay. Round bus stop chicane part 1. Round part 2. On the exit. Oh, hang on a minute here. 39.0. Is there anyone who can challenge me as the GOAT? Like, realistically. Oh, wow. That is one of the best laps I have ever driven in this game. In any F1 game. That is up there. That's top 5. That is Hamilton Singapore 2018 type shit. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I've actually just done that. That was quite literally every single thousandth that I had. There was nowhere extra to find time on that lap. When I say that was perfect, that was perfect. Lando as well. I was about to say he's done well, but realistically he's 8 tenths off me. But at least he's top 10, I guess. Although he has been beat by a Haas. And I also completely forgot that Checo Perez is in the RB now. So Checo just being the absolute GOAT as well. Up there in P3 in the RB. Wow. I tell you what, I need to take a look at the race director. I need to see those sector times because, wow. So, oh, get it away from me. It's grotesque. Holy moly. So I found 3 tenths of a second in Sector 1. 3 tenths of a second in Sector 2. 3 tenths of a second in Sector 3. Quite literally equal time gain throughout the entire lap. And the funny thing is that my Sector 3 still wasn't brilliant. As you can see, it was actually slower than everyone down to Hamilton. But my Sector 2 and 1 was so good that I still managed to get pole. Wow. Okay, we go into the race on pole, out of nowhere, with Lando starting P10. Let's have it. I still can't get over that quali lap, like genuinely how good that was by my personal standards, but welcome to race day at Spa-Francorchamps. Now, I'm going to be perfectly straightforward here. That lap was so good that I don't think I've even got race pace to fight for points. So, this race, I'm expecting to fall back considerably, but you never know. But I haven't got a good feeling, you know, I ain't got the feeling. Alright, so here's the strategy for today. Now, the game wanted me to do 7 laps on softs and 8 laps on mediums, but that doesn't really seem worth it. I mean, the mediums are supposed to go longer, so I've decided to stop 1 lap earlier, like I normally do, and, excuse me, hopefully I can get a little undercut going and gain whatever positions I lose. So, let's start round number 8, Spa on pole. God knows how. Alright, here we go then. Now, in my test race, I lost 6 positions off the line. I'm going to try and not do that today, and we are away, and that is a horrible, horrible start. So much wheel spin, and I'm already down a place on the Aston Martin of Alonso. However, I've only lost the 1 place so far, so honestly, that's not too bad. And to be honest, being second isn't bad at all. I get the DRS, which here is overpowered, and as you can see, my straight line speed, it's powerful. I'm only on the hot lap setting, and I am actually catching Fernando Alonso. In fact, there might be a little move on here. There's definitely a little move on here. Round the outside of Alonso. Oh, that was way too easy. Fernando, who is one of the most prestigiously good defensive drivers in the world, has sort of just let me go past him there, which, you know what, whatever. I am back into P1, and yeah, that's good. To be honest, I am surprised I only lost 1 place and then still managed to gain it back after that dreary start where I don't know if I put too many revs or too little revs, I'm not too sure, but I just had loads of wheel spin and I was really slow, so there you go. But who cares? We're on, you know, sector 2 of lap 1 now and I'm still leading. And round the bus stop we go to complete lap numero uno. And yeah, that's a scary sight. You've got Fernando Alonso right up your arse. It's not a pleasant feeling. I'm not feeling too confident about defending him up here, but we'll have to give it a go. I've got a good 70% overtake to you, so oh, I don't know. It's a very 50-50 situation right now. I have no clue if I can actually defend. I have no idea what my straight line speed is going to truly look like. Let's have a butcher's. Oh, it's just freeload. It's just freeload. I only used 20% ERS there, and Alonso couldn't even get close to me. And now, because there's nowhere to overtake really until the next lap, I can just sit here and charge all that ERS back up, meaning I should be able to defend this P1 on a permanent basis unless I make some sort of massive cock-up, which, let's be honest, it's me. That is definitely probably going to happen at some point. Cheeky little fastest lap for Ed. Never mind. Okay, sure. Carlos Sainz, you are not a very nice person. You've just nabbed me fastest lap for no reason. As you can see, I've used a bit up in my battery on the previous lap. Didn't actually help me at all. I've actually lost time to Alonso still. But it should be plentiful enough to actually stay ahead of him. Because look, he's right behind me. If I just go down to like 20 and sort of just dodge out the way of his slipstream, he can't really get close to me. So yeah, this is very easy. And I was still correct about what I said before the race, that my race pace is shockingly bad. Like, it just is. You can see in the bottom left that there is still like a 2-second gap between me and like P12. Like, I am holding everyone up right now, and it's only because of my really good straight line speed that I'm actually still ahead. But thank God I've got that. Well, hang on a minute here. Checo Perez going for a cheeky move on Fernando Alonso. That's actually going to help me out a little bit. I mean, it's not really done me much favour. I mean, both of them are still within half a second of me, but it's a tiny little gap. Round here, half a second is a big deal, do you know what I mean? And Perez has actually got that place, and he's now up to second, so fair play, Chico. You are the GOAT for a reason. But of course, it doesn't really matter too much because, well, you still don't put up a fight with me, so there you go. I don't really care who's behind me. You ain't coming past me. Well, hang on, we have a yellow flag somewhere. I mean, obviously it's behind me, but how far behind it is going to be, I believe, one of the Williams that are going out, so completely irrelevant to me, and it is Teo Bourget. he's having a tough time, both in this and in my team. It's not a great F1 career for him so far. We wish him best of luck in the future. But right now, it's really not going well, is it? All right, on Checo's looking dangerous here. He's going for it, a cheeky bogger. Look at him go, actually. I don't mind him going past, all things considered. I mean, realistically, I now just get DRS to fly back past. That's also a thing. The AI don't really think about the overtakes very much because he's just giving me free DRS to now just blitz back past him. So, thanks, Checo. In fact, I'm going to do this no-handed because I feel like it. One-handed because I need to drive out of the way of him. But here we go. Into turn, whatever the corner. Swoop it round the outside. And I have retaken the lead and a green sector. So, not too bad. We're going to be stopping on the next lap, although the tyres are still holding on very nicely. And we are now at a third race distance. So that's pretty cool. It's going all to plan so far. Luckily, my car is actually driving really, really nicely. I mean, yeah, we might be like 7th in the R&D or 8th, or actually, no, I think we're P6. But the car still feels lovely, you know? It feels great. It's like Fernando Alonso at Bahrain, you know, when he said this car is lovely to drive. Was that 20? No, that was 2023, wasn't it? God, that's already a year. Oh, wow. That's already 2 years ago. That's nuts. But anyway, speaking of Alonso, he's looking for a cheeky move on Chico. Nope, that's the inside he's going for, and he's got it. Fair play, Fernando. That was a nice move from the AI. Usually AI don't go for overtakes like that. But he saw the gap and he went for it. So, fair enough. My new competitor is the old one. It's Fernando Alonso. Now, we are stopping this lap, so I'm just going to absolutely destroy my ERS tank, use every amount that I've got, save about 20, to get the best in-lap possible, and then get the best out-lap possible, so that I can... Well, my main target is to sort of undercut like Alonso by extending my gap. Of course, I'm already ahead of him. I'm not trying to get past him. I'm just trying to extend my gap, you know? That's my thinking. Now, I do know for a fact that the undercut does actually work pretty well around here because of past experiences, but one thing that I'm slightly worried about is that these tyres they haven't really felt like they've fallen off yet. As you can see, they're only in the low 20s of tyre wear as I completely drive onto the grass. So I'll give it another 20 seconds to think whether I should actually stop now. It's just that I do think the undercut will work. It's just, yeah, it's a bit dodgy. Alright, I've made up my mind. Because when I stop, I will come out in clean air. I am going to pit on this lap. So everyone should stay out, giving me one lap to undercut all of them. And here we go. Now, the one time that I need a good stop, it would be now. Come on. Those are my guys. They deserve a pay rise. They deserve all of the KFC sharing buckets in the world. That is unbelievable from them. What a pit stop. 2.4 seconds, which means if I just put a semi-decent lap together, I should come out back in P1 and maybe with like a 2 or 3 second gap. That would be in an ideal world. I'm also happy to report that the mediums do actually feel better than the softs I was just on. I didn't think it would be that much of a difference, but you can really feel a difference. These tyres are like way quicker. Cheeky little fastest sector 2 as well for the send-dog. That's how you know I'm cooking. Now, if we take a look at the bottom left, we can see who's stopping. So the Ferrari's staying out. I don't remember which Ferrari that is. I believe that's Leclerc. And so is an Aston and a Mercedes, but everyone else is in. So let's see where I come out. I should realistically, no matter what, stay in P1. It's just the gap to P2 is what I'm looking for. Fastest sector 2 and 3, by the way. That's, yeah, no, there is the pace. On the pit exit, there is no one really relevant that actually stopped on that lap. The 3 people that were behind, actually no, Checo Perez was right behind me, so look at that. I actually gained 3 seconds on Checo, and now I've got another lap to undercut both Leclerc, Alonso, and I believe Russell in the Mercedes. So this is pretty massive. All right, here we come then on the next lap. The front three should realistically stop now, and they do. Right, three, well, the other three that were behind me before I stopped are now in. And, oh my goodness. Fastest lap by Senna, a 42.2. I thought I said 8. That is a bloody fast lap time. I've gained a half a second on Perez, and I am 6 seconds, 7 seconds ahead of Alonso. He was half a second behind me when I stopped. I gained 6 seconds in 2 laps. Oh, that's just an unbelievable strategy by FUTcrim, isn't it? That's unbelievable. And now, of course, it's about staying consistent and fast, and I should get a pretty ecstatic surprise. Whoa, that was crazy. A surprise race win. That would be... Whoa, body, can you stop? It would be a nice win. That's all I was trying to say. Bleeding chest. Oh, I've somehow now breached the 1 minute 41s. I have no idea, not a clue. Not even Sherlock Holmes or Johnny English could figure this one out of why I'm so fast. I don't understand it. I've gained another half a second on Checo Perez. Never mind, I've lost all of it. Still 2 tenths up though. And now I've found the rhythm. Who can stop me, realistically? We are now 2/3, a little bit just over, but 2/3 of the way through the race. I've set another fastest sector 3. Not entirely sure how, but I have. And I am now 5 seconds up on Checo Perez. One thing I have figured out, though, is that it's sector 1 where I find like 8 tenths, but then he pulls it back in sector 3. Sonoda's just taken the fastest lap, which is very annoying because A, he's in like P16, so it literally doesn't matter to him. And B, it's just one less point that I get. So that's extremely cringe, but okay, whatever. Fair play, Sonoda. Good lap. Right, I think I want to have an attempt at the fastest lap. My tyre wear is still okay, so I should be able to go for it. But of course, I'm going to need a full tank of ERS to actually attempt it. So that's what I'm going to try and do. But of course, I do have to be careful of Checo. I don't want to lose too much time to him, just harvesting. But realistically, I feel like I can go for the fastest lap. If I can achieve it, I'm not too sure. I don't actually know what it currently is, but I want to give it a go because that extra point, well, it's an extra point. That should justify it in itself. But of course, by the end of the season, that could be a absolutely humongously big point towards my championship hopes. Just like my stomach, very, very large. Alright, and here we go then. Fastest lap attempt. Gonna take the dodgy line so that I get a better exit. I don't think it actually does anything, but just to be self-conscious, I've done it anyway. And here we go. Turn 1. Braking was okay. Avoid the wall. Get on the exit. Gas it. That was pretty nice. Down to 85%. This is basically just... I'm driving like a quaddie lap, but of course it's going to be a bit slower because, well... Duh. Now I'm going to pretend I've got DRS here, and I'm going to go down to 35 on the overtake. There we go. Sector 1 is completed, and I am going to find improvement. Bloody well hope so. That should have been the minimum. Making my way through Sector 2 now. It's been pretty good. A little bit early on the brakes through there, but it's okay. If I could just get a nice exit, which I do, and then send it through here. That was okay. A little bit of overtake on the exit. Keep the pace up. Now we go through Puon. It should still be a subtle lift. That it is. On the exit, go down to 30-something. There we go. Now into these tricky corners, which I've been managing extremely well throughout this race. Not really having any moments on them. And then we come through here. That was very wide, but I can keep it together. Put on the overtake now. That is going to be another green sector. Now I'm going to go down to about 15. And I should be able to leave it on hot lap and still have decent speed. And then, of course, on the exit of the bus stop, we dump the overtake. And hopefully, that's going to get me a fastest lap. Although, I will say, Perez he's actually gained time on me. So, I don't think it's going to be good enough, to be honest. Cross the line. And yes! Come on! Oh, it was actually a good enough lap. I was thinking, because Perez only lost about 2 or 3 tenths to me on that lap, it wasn't good enough. but it was. I found 3/10 of a second on my previous best lap, and if it stays as it is, which it should do because there's only 2 laps left, that's going to give me another very important point. So now, let's go bring this home. Yippee! And here we go, the final lap of a decent Belgian Grand Prix. To be honest, it's always amazing to me that people say that this is one of the best tracks for racing, and I also do agree. But realistically, there's only one overtaking place on the entire track, and mostly it's just because it's got DRS. So, yeah, not sure about that one, but let's be honest, if you look at my previous couple of rounds and you tell me that before this round I would, have got pole position and then converted it into a race win, I would have just gone, oi, this geezer's a bit nutty, do you know what I mean? He's on one, he's off his head. But no, here I am. I have lost a second to Leclerc, who was overtaking Checo. Not sure where that's come from, but he's done it, and I'm actually losing a lot of time to them now, but I don't really care. It's 4.5 seconds in one lap, and there's nowhere to overtake. I could probably drive at 3 miles an hour and still win. But yeah, no, to be honest, this just feels like vintage, FUTcrim. Of course, I'm F1crim now, but vintage FUTcrim, or just say FATcrim, and Ayrton Senna. This feels like Season 1, or the, early parts of Season 2, where I was winning a lot. I mean, Season 1, I won, what, 13, 14 races? I mean, nothing was stopping me today. The car has felt like the Mercedes, like, what was it, W12, the 2020 car. It's felt like that. I mean, I have not had one single mistake this entire race, apart from, like, one. And that was when I was commentating, so of course it was going to happen. But no, here we come to the bus stop. And, yeah, one of the best races I've ever driven, one of the best weekends I've ever driven, finishes with me taking the top step and the win. What a time to be alive. That is genuinely outrageous from me and completely unexpected. Now remember, at the start of this video, I said that I wanted to get 2 top 6 finishes for the team, me and Lando, but I didn't think it was going to happen because of where our car is in the R&D, and I said, but a surprise could happen. And there it is. Pole position and a win. Has he done that then? Bah. Now, for once, I'm actually going to sit here and watch the podium. Usually, I just skip it because it's the exact same carbon copy animation. But this one feels a bit more special. This one feels really good. And I can't really explain why. Maybe it's because it's similar to, like, Gasly getting that podium at Brazil. Or, actually, more accurate, Ocon getting that podium at Brazil. It's something that the car shouldn't be there, but it was there anyway. Do you know what I mean? It was that kind of vibe. You enjoy that one, Sandog. It might be the last race win for a very long time. Checo up on the podium as well. That's underrated. And so here's your final race results. And I also got the fastest lap. On the final lap, no one could nick it. Sonoda, like I said, he actually was outside of the points. I was correct. Meaning that he wouldn't have got an extra point for that, because he's obviously not inside the top 10. So, yeah, that's massive for me. A full 26 points. And also, look at my, fastest lap difference compared to the rest of the top 10. The second fastest was a 42.2. 8 tenths, 6 tenths, slower than me. Lando as well. I don't know what to say, because, yeah, you're in the points. Well done, lad. But you've scored, 24 points in 8 races. Meanwhile, that's what, my 3rd race win? I don't know. I feel like something has to change, but of course it's not up to me, because unlike my team, I don't make the decisions around here. But what we need to look at is the Drivers' Championship. Now today, Verstappen, he only scored 2 points. Lance Stroll scored 4 points. Alonso got 12. Leclerc 18, and I got 26. In the Drivers, I lead by 20 points over Alonso. Ooh, what a time to be alive. What a race to finish off the first half of the season before the summer break. Of course, the summer break in real life is a month. For me and you, it's 2 days. That's unreal. Now, what's concerning me now is what the Constructors is going to look like. Because yes, I outscored pretty much every team single-handedly, but like I said, I just wanted to finish ahead of Ferrari. After this race, I wanted to be back in P2. Have we got it? Yes! He's done it! I say he's done it. Technically, we've done it. Lando, with his 1-point contribution, is helping out here, but we're back into P2. Yes, it's only by 2 points, but we're back into P2. And, of course, we have also cut that lead from Aston Martin from, what, 57 down to 46. So that's disgusting. That is brilliant. But, yeah, what a fantastic weekend. That is best weekend of the season. Maybe one of the best individual performances of the whole series. But, yeah, that's going to be all from me today. Make sure you like and subscribe, especially after that performance, but also just in general if you're feeling, you know, fancy and gracious and kind in the new year. We're going for 3K subscribers by the end of the year. If you didn't know, so you want to help along, why not? And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.